can bet it on everything I have that you've had this before, but healing isn't a race. It isn't. Forcing yourself to move on too fast doesn't make you strong. It makes you disconnected from your own soul. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Wednesday, y'all. And basically today's video is about stop forcing yourself to move on before you're actually ready to move on. And without wasting any more time, let's get into today's video. We actually live in a world, sadly, that is literally obsessed with quick healing, if there is something like that. People say just move on, just get over it, don't dwell. But grief, heartbreak, and loss doesn't work on a timer. Healing has no deadline, and every time you pressure yourself to move on, you're abandoning a part of you that still needs love. So let me explain to you guys why forcing healing doesn't work. OMG guys, it's 12:12 on the timer. Maybe if you believe in angel numbers, you can check that out. But yeah, like I was saying, let me explain to you guys why forcing healing doesn't work. It never will. One, it creates fake strength. You look okay, but inside, you're hurting. Two, it leads to spiritual bypassing, covering wounds with positivity instead of tending to them and facing them. Three, it actually disconnects you from your inner child who needs patience and not punishment. And on that note, I'm going to make a video about our inner child. I feel like it will be helpful. Yeah. Let me just note that down. Now that I've shared at least the 3 main reasons why forcing healing won't work, I want to tell you the truth about real healing. Healing is not linear. It's a spiral. You will revisit the pain at deeper levels as you grow, sadly. And no one tells you that. Literally, you have to go through it to find out. But yeah, moving on isn't about erasing the past. Because if the past wouldn't have happened the way it did, then your present wouldn't be the way it is at the moment. So be grateful for your past. But as I was saying, moving on does not mean erasing the past. It means integrating it. Real strength is in sitting with your feelings, not skipping them or avoiding them. You don't have to rush. You're allowed to take all the time you need during your healing journey. Like I said before, and I want to remind you again, healing is not linear. Healing is a spiral. It is. Rest is healing. Silence is healing. Crying is healing. When you let yourself fully feel, instead of skipping your emotions or avoiding them, you actually do move on naturally, not forcefully. It just happens. Because you sat with those feelings. For example, when I lost my dad when I was young. Growing up, I was so young. I was 10 when my dad died. Yeah? And growing up, it did a toll on me. Yeah? I couldn't even talk about it. I couldn't even think about it without crying, without feeling some type of way, without even being suicidal. But it reached a point where 10 years later, I asked myself, how long? How long will I not be able to talk about my dad? How long will I keep on? It's like living in the past and also wanting to live in the present at the same time, which is kind of impossible. It's like a part of you is holding you back from, you get? Yeah. So back to my story. So slowly by slowly, anytime I got the thoughts of my dad's death and how he died when I was young, and you know, girls with their dads, of course, it did a number on me. But when I started facing my feelings. Like whenever I felt like I want to cry, I cried. Whenever I felt like I wanted to journal, I journaled. Whenever I felt like I just want to be silent and not talk about it, I was silent until one day I came to realize, oh, wait a minute, it doesn't hurt anymore. Funny thing about skipping your emotions or avoiding them is that every time you avoid them, it's like whatever you're avoiding the feelings for amplifies. So every time I tried to avoid crying because of remembering my dad, instead of facing my emotions and working through it naturally, every time I did that, it messed me up. But every time it came, I felt like crying and I cried. And now I can talk about him, I can, without feeling some type of way. And I wanted to say, funny thing about grief and avoiding emotions is the more you avoid the emotion, the more the thoughts of whatever you're avoiding become more negative. It's like, for example, what I'm trying to say is every time I avoided thinking about my dad's death, you want to avoid your feelings and you want to feel happy. So, I used to just be negative as hell. All I could think about is negative stuff. Why did he leave? Why did he die? Did it have to be like this? And all that and all that. But then after I started working through my emotions and not avoiding them, all I can think about is all the good memories I had with my dad, and I smile and I'm happy. So, yeah. When you let yourself feel fully, you actually do move on naturally and not forcefully. So stop forcing, stop pushing, stop rushing. Your healing is not late, it's not behind, it's perfectly on time. Moving on will happen, and it will happen when your soul is ready, not when society tells you to move on. Trust your timing. Just remember though, your soul can never be ready if you keep on skipping and avoiding your emotions. Love y'all. That brings me to the end of my video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. I appreciate your support, guys. It really goes a long way. Love you guys. Thank you for watching.